John Howard has been asleep on climate change for the past 11 years.
I'm Stephen Mayne. Good morning from the Mayne Report. Now, when John Howard finally woke up to the issue of climate change and the environment more generally, one of the policies he changed was how companies that are listed on the stock exchange communicate with their shareholders. From July 1 this year, it was no longer compulsory for listed companies to send the full annual report to their shareholders. Now, I own shares in 445 companies, and I've been getting deluged with letters from companies asking me whether I want to keep receiving the annual report. I say yes please every single time because I want to be a shareholder activist who knows everything about all these companies. Now, a few naughty companies have simply stopped sending me the annual report without first asking the question. And we had a good example this week from a company called Telstra, which is supposed to know something about communicating. Now, the Telstra annual reports of yesteryear were rather weighty affairs. This is the 2003 annual report, which runs to more than 300 pages, 340 to be precise. It's not quite a telephone book, but when you have a comparison, you've got 100 millimetres of telephone book here, you've got 15 millimetres of 340 page annual report from 2003, and then you've got this little 1 millimetre job, which has just turned up in the mail this week, with Telstra supposedly telling you everything you need to know about the company in just 32 pages. Now, if you're going to deregulate what companies tell their shareholders, the onus is on the companies to include what they think is relevant information. The notice of meeting for this year's Telstra AGM reveals a resolution where the board, that's the non-executive directors, are asking for an increase in their pay from a maximum of $2 million a year to a maximum of $3 million a year. Now, if you're going to put up a contentious resolution like that, surely you would include in this mail out what the directors got last year. But sadly, no, you have to go online to the Stock Exchange website and go to page 111 of the 256 page full annual report to discover that Chairman Donald McGauchie received a 40% pay rise last year, and he's asking for a 50% increase in the maximum payable to all the board now. Now, I simply say Telstra has failed to include the relevant information. Now, when you look through this phone book, you see many 8-digit numbers, which is the standard number in Australia for anyone you want to call. At least if you go through this Telstra 32-pager, you get a 9-digit figure for Sol Trujillo's salary. Yes, Sol Trujillo collected $11.78 million last year, bigger than your average Australian phone number. Now, I'm making a bold prediction here and now. I think that the Telstra remuneration report will be voted down at the AGM in Sydney on November 7, and I think that the pay rise for the directors will also receive a large protest vote. You heard it here, folks. I'm Stephen Mayne. I'm just doing my best on no salary at all.